Thank you, gentlemen. Well, since I did not give you the opportunity to make an opening statement, I apologize for that and overlooked it. Let's go ahead and start down here with Chad, and if you would, you'll have 2 minutes just to sort of introduce yourself, and we'll move right down the line. Each of you will have 2 minutes to do that.
I'm pretty sure one or more of us will make a mistake tonight too, Dr. Lee. My name is Chad Gruber, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. Certainly want to thank the Tea Party for hosting the event. I've been to a number of Tea Party events, and I always walk away having learned something. Hopefully I will tonight as well. Also want to thank the Academy of Arts for letting us use the facility, and Dr. Bean for your willingness to moderate. I think this is going to be an exciting time for discussion. Well, this 2 minutes is designed for me to let you see who I am. So, I'm a small business owner. I'm an attorney. I'm a family man. I'm a committed Christian. I'm a deacon at my church. I'm also just a regular guy who has the same experiences that you all have. I've got to pay a mortgage, and I've got to pay a salary to my legal assistant myself. I have to do all the things that you have to do. And because of that, I have an interest in making sure this state works for all of us. You know, I was born here, that my wife here was educated here, raising a family here, starting a business here. This is my home, and I have a vested interest in making sure she's the best home she can be for all of our citizens. Well, so not only do I have a passion for the state, I do have a vision for where we should go. South Carolina can be more prosperous if we do some of the things that we just talked about. Small businesses can thrive, and large employers will come here and find this as a haven for them. We can be more secure and safe in our state if we address the violent crime that plagues this state. I mean, we are, second from the top in violent crime. We have to do something about that. As a former federal prosecutor, I care about that issue. Frankly, we can be a more free society. We talk about liberty a lot here, particularly in the Tea Party. We're more free when our government functions for us, looking for our best interest. And I assure you that if you do send me to Columbia, I will be your best interest. Your best interest will be my heart, and I will vote that way.
Thank you, Chad.
Well, thank you to the Green Tea Party for hosting this event, Dr. Dean for moderating. My name is Jim Lee. I announced over a year ago my candidacy for this office for the 8th District seat. I feel right at home amongst all of you because, like many of you, I got engaged during the explosive growth of the Concerned Citizens movement. And in the course of doing so, we've all moved beyond the fear and the anger with the way things are going, and we moved into positions of activism. Now, some have moved into being active in vetting and holding their candidates and their elected officials accountable. Some have moved forward, such as myself, and put themselves out as candidates willing to serve and be held accountable. And that's why I'm here tonight. You know, we can't wait for a knight on a white horse to come to Washington and rescue us. I ran for Congress in 2010 because I was so fed up with what was happening in Washington. But now that same passion, and quite frankly, that same anger at the way things are being handled in Columbia, are what moves me to focus on the state, because I believe, not if rather, but when the problems come from the federal government, because South Carolina is so dependent on the federal government. If we don't get proactive and do things differently, we are going to be in a world of hurt. I'm not running for any of you. I'm not running for me. I'm running for my 5 children and 2 grandchildren and all of your children and grandchildren, because what we are doing is, quite frankly, immoral and criminal, in that we're wasting away their futures before they've had the same opportunities that I've been blessed with having. I've been married to the same woman for 31 years. I've been blessed she's had me this long. I am grateful for the opportunity to live in a country where someone of ordinary means, who lives a decent life, who seeks to serve the community, has the opportunity to run to serve the public for the right reasons. That's why I'm putting myself as a candidate out here for the 8th District succeed to serve the people of the 8th District of Columbia. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Joe Swan.
Well, thank you all for allowing me to introduce myself to you tonight. Thank you for being here. I grew up in Clive, South Carolina. It's a small community, farming community in Marlborough County. I guess I became a Republican when I was about 12 years old because that's when I got my first paper route. My dad was a school superintendent and a coach. My mom was a third grade teacher. I attended Clemson, earned my BS degree in ceramic engineering, moved to Cleveland, and there I got my MBA at Case Western Reserve University, Cleveland, Ohio. Bobby and I have been married for 47 years. We have 3 great children, Aaron, Audrey, and Ted, and we have 6 absolutely perfect grandchildren. I joined Reliance Electric in 1969, moved around an awful lot with Reliance, and ended up in Greenville in 1981. And then when I retired, I was serving as president of Rockwell Automation Power Systems after a 37-year career. That same year, we founded Integrated Power Services. Integrated Power Services has grown from less than 300 people to more than 800 people in the last 5 years. You know, what we have to do is to take my understanding of business and my understanding of job creation and help get back to work the number of people in South Carolina that are currently unemployed. We have to get them prepared with job skills and understanding for automotive, aviation, rubber, and other types of manufacturing and service businesses. What we get back from Columbia is directly proportional to the quality of the people we send to Columbia. And often, people with my background don't offer themselves as a candidate. But I am offering myself because I can make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Senator Thomas.
Thank you very much. I started working in the political arena many years ago with Ronald Reagan. I was recruited by Tim Brett and helped with the Ronald Reagan campaign since I was 4. I'd just been elected to city council, and they made me chairman of the Reagan Greenville campaign. I helped put on events for Reagan when he came. One of the highlights of my life was actually having my 15 seconds with Ronald Reagan alone from any campaign people. And I got to ask him 2 really good questions, and he was so kind to answer. But believe it or not, I think you look back on your life, various things. Wasn't that a critical moment in time when we were able in the upstate of South Carolina to have enough votes to bring in a majority for Ronald Reagan that offset the rest of the votes for some of the more liberal Republican candidates? It turned history. That I think for all of us who participated in that was a defining moment. I was elected to the state senate 28 years ago. I had fought the battles against the Democrats. We took over the state senate, and we took over the committee system 10 years ago when we finally got a majority and got Burl Smith and James Parkins. I was involved with 4 people that managed to do that. We've got a much more conservative state now. I find myself in disagreement all the time with the leadership, particularly the chairman of the Finance Committee. I keep pressing zero-based budgeting and actually got a proposal on zero-based budgeting in the budget as a pilot project. He took it out in the conference committee, blamed the Republican House members, but I know who it was. There is a gravity against trying to reform. There's a gravity that says don't do the creative things, that the business things that would bore down and see what is happening with government. But we have to keep fighting that. So I'll continue to bring that issue of zero-based budgeting and press that issue forward.
Thank you, Senator. Ross Turner.
I'm Ross Turner, 47 years old, born and raised in Greenville. I'm married 22 years. My wife, Julie, grew up in Easley. We have 3 great kids, for the most part. One is 18. He'll be going to Clemson next year. The other one's 15. She's a dancer at Jail Man. And then the other one's a 5th grader at Sarah Collins Elementary. And they keep us busy, and with two girls about to be teenagers, I look forward to possibly going to Columbia. Like I said, I was born and raised, graduated Clemson in 1986, went to work with Travelers Insurance Company, lived in Columbia for 3.5 years. And for a Clemson guy, that was when Todd Ellis kept beating us in football, so it wasn't very fun for me down there. And the way they're beating us now, I'm still questioning why I want to go back to Columbia. But Travelers moved me up on the fast track. I worked workers' comp for national accounts. They wanted me to move to Hartford, Connecticut. Life's too short for this southern boy to go to Hartford, Connecticut. I went there for a couple of weeks, and that was long enough. Came back to business with my father. He started the agency in '62. He was a one-man show pretty much till I came back. I spent the first 3 years looking for the pot of gold that he was hiding from me and found out it wasn't there. What I did find out was if you're going to be in the business for yourself, it's a real simple formula. It's hard work, it's sacrifice, and it's being honest with people and doing what you say you're going to do. And that's the key. And that's what I bring to the table for this. I don't bring any real special skills other than I love South Carolina, I love Greenville County, I love District 8 that I represent. We represent over 700 small businesses in District 8. I've felt their pains the last few years, and it's those pains that drove me to putting myself out here to run for Senate. And I love that opportunity.